Betsy. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're so excited to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here. This has been a nice trip for me. Really nice break, and I enjoyed seeing everybody.
Well, thank you. I know you have so much rich history with this organization, and maybe tell us a little bit about how you got involved and how you got started with the organization.
Well, with the organization, I was working for a company, and one lady there said, you know, I think you'd like this group, and it was called AFWA, and ASWA at that time, excuse me. And anyway, she said, I think you'll enjoy some of the ladies there. So I said, oh, okay, I'll go. And I went. Now, I want to tell you, that was 1971.
Wow.
And ladies still wore hats and gloves, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we met at the top of the Commerce Towers, which was the 10th floor, downtown. And everybody was so prim and proper, and it was just a wonderful time. But I was kind of like, man, all these ladies are so accomplished, you know, like.
What city was that in?
Huh?
What city were you in?
In Kansas City.
Kansas City, okay.
And so I thought, well, that was really enjoyable. So I went home, I told my husband, he says, do you like the group? I said, well, I think I would. And he says, okay. He says, I don't have a problem. So I started going, and by that, one lady there who was one of the first CPAs in Missouri and Kansas, Mary Jo McCann, who has since passed away, kept encouraging me to get my degree, to go back to school, because I only had 1 year of college at that point.
Oh, okay.
And so she kept saying, so every time I'd go there, she'd say, you gone to school yet? So finally, I told my husband, I said, she's not going to shut up until I go. So then after it was a couple years, then I said, okay, I'm going to start going to school. And she was so proud, and she was so happy, and she was a delight. She was kind of my inspiration, because I never hoped to accomplish the things she did, but I wanted to accomplish some of them. And being a CPA was part of my goal.
That's awesome. What an exciting story.
So anyway, so it took me, I hate to tell you this, about 5 years of night school.
Wow.
You know, to get my degree. Because I had 1 year of college in chemical engineering, believe that or not, and at Warrensburg. And so then I needed 3 more years. So it took me quite a while, and I went year round. No breaks.
Wow.
You know, because I wanted to get it done and get my degree. So
did you sit for the CPA exam right away then?
no, right away I took the Becker course.
Okay.
My son, in fact, said, why don't you just sit? I said, oh, honey, I don't like blood, sweat, and tears. Because I had heard how difficult it was. So there was no way I was just going to go sit. So I took the Becker course. And that took me about, I think it was like 4 or 5 months. And so I did that, and then I sat, and I passed all but law.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And then I had to go back and do law to get and I was able to get my license because the man that headed the department where I worked was a CPA.
Okay.
And you had to either work at a CPA firm in Missouri or work with a CPA and who would vouch for you. So that worked out real well.
Oh,
and
that's
I was able
wonderful.
to get my license. And I didn't have to change jobs.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, to get my license, I had to just work there, do what I was doing auditing there. I was auditing contracts and departments and stuff, different things like that. So
wow.
It was very good.
So how long did you work for that company?
39 and a half years.
What was the name of it?
HNTB, Architects and Engineers.
Awesome.
Yeah. And someone said one day, why don't you want to stay till you got 40? I said, no. I said, I have to clean a silver bowl. And what I did is I left there, but I continued to work, but for a man who'd headed the IT department And so I went to help small engineering companies do what I did for HNTB. Because small companies can't afford to pay $100,000 salary.
Right.
And so I could go there and train them on what I knew had to happen for government overhead.
That's exciting.
So I did that for the next 12 years.
Uh-huh.
Then I retired.
Then you really retired,
Yes,
right?
I really retired.